Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? It is Ricky Ventures and Marlon Madden, and we are back with you for another week of the Success Journey Show.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Marlon, what's good, bro? How you doing today?
Man, I'm living the dream, man.
Yeah.
Vacay.
That's
Came
right.
back.
That's right. You guys are on vacay,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So
Chilling.
refreshed. They'll probably see this. I don't know if it's gonna be this week or next week.
Next week.
We'll see. But the vacay came back feeling good. Went to Gettysburg, Virginia. Or Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
There you go. Keep me honest. Gatlinburg, Virginia, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And, yeah.
There was where
Yeah.
It was in Gatlinburg, West Virginia.
Where's them parts?
Gaithersburg, Western Wisconsin.
So it was fun.
I think that's where we were.
Kids had fun. We're at the water park. We're tubing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just to get out the kids' spring break. So we got out and did some things with the family, and planning to do some other stuff because I gotta take some leave, man. Gotta do it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. You ain't lying.
What about
man.
you?
I'm losing. Yeah. I've been missing vacation time. I've been losing vacation time, man. Because we only get a certain amount we can keep in our bank, and I haven't really taken any vacation. So it's just, oh man, I have to plan something. When we move into our house, I will probably take off some time. And then this summer take off a few weeks here and there. So I got to use that stuff up. But man, I've been good, dude. I mean, everyone out there, you can see my eyes are a little red. I didn't even realize that until I turned the camera on. What in the world was I doing, man? I was doing my Muay Thai, man. Coming straight from Muay Thai, man. Man, let me tell you something, man. That thing wears you out.
It does. It does.
Man, it just wears me out, dude. So it's a good wear out though. But I don't think I ever recorded after one of those sessions. So if I fall asleep, towards the middle of the session, it's not boredom, it's not boredom. Like it's just my body like, yo, you taxed yourself way too much. So yeah. Other than that, man, good. Thanks for all the prayers. With Nicole, she's been going through her chemo. She went through her second chemo. And it was a very eventful time, man. It's just every time it's something different. So we ended up being at her last session for almost 9 hours, man, and that day. So, but she's holding strong. She's doing well. So definitely want to thank all you listeners out there and travelers out there that are keeping her in your prayers, because man, we need it. We need it right now. So we're halfway through the chemo cycle, and then we got something else after that. So it's just. We'll keep you posted as she continues to develop and as everything she continues to progress, I should say. But she's in good spirits, so
definitely.
Yeah. Appreciate that, everybody. But yeah, man, Marlon, we got share with our new travelers that are just getting on board with us. It's so funny. We at the Muay Thai that I go to, Top Flight, for anyone that's interested, Top Flight. Here in Maryland, Belcamp, Maryland, owned by two brothers. I'm gonna get them on the show one of these days, man, just to talk about their journey. And you see the new people coming in, and he outfits them with gloves, wraps, and whatever else they need to start, so that they're in good position for their first class, right?
Yeah.
And and looking at that model, Marlon and I, we looked at what we can offer our travelers that are coming on with us. So if you go to our website, you have the book bag, right? The book bag is for you to, carry along your journey with you. Put things in there so that you don't forget. Your notepad should always have on you, your pencil, your laptop, tablet, whatever it may be. Somewhere, keep it safe and snug. A charger for your phone. Keep you well equipped, man. We also have clothes so that you're not going on your journey naked. You guys got a t-shirt. Pick up one of our t-shirts, and then for some leisure reading, man, we got a book up there, man, one of my first books. And it's funny, man, I just put them away, but it's got a new shipment in here, going to be shipping out some to some people that have ordered. So appreciate you guys for supporting. But yeah, go on there, man. We want to equip you equip you for the journey that you're going on in life, and so that you can be a successful traveler through this journey. And we got some more things coming up too. So yeah, Marlon, I want you to share, where they can find that stuff and our previous podcasts.
All right. The successjourneyshow.com is where you can find us. The successjourneyshow.com. If you want to check us out on Instagram or Facebook, Success Journey Show. If you want to check us out on Twitter, Success_show. YouTube, The Success Journey Show. And you can find us on any platform that you can find a podcast on. We also put out a challenge out there because we know there's been a lot of platforms ever since the pandemic started. The podcasting has gone skyrocket. A lot more users and a lot more streamers. So we say if you can find a platform that we're not on, just send us that platform and we will get you one of these shirts. Dream, drive, discipline, and diligence. And that's the 4 Ds or quad Ds that we think that takes you to the next level.
Yeah, I rock this to every training, man. Every training, man. Dream, drive. They're like, man, that Joker, man, the way he's working hard over there. So I got to represent. Why I can't be the guy over there slacking. Wearing this T-shirt, man.
Yeah. But it feels good wearing your own stuff too, Rick, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When your own stuff, I have the book bag. People are like, "Yo, I like that book bag, man. Where you?" I'm like, yeah. Just stop up on my thing. It's mine, man. Yours. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to the airport. I went to the airport recently and I had the book bag. And when they were going through, TSA was like, yo, you have a lot of stuff in this bag. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, I like it. SuccessJourneyShow.com is where you can find our stuff.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Hey, get on there.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to jump right into it today. And we have another great guest like we always do, Renee Velasquez. And I had to say his name real quick before I thought about it too hard, right? So we have another great guest with us, and I'm going to do that again. It's none other than Renee Velasquez, and he's going to share his story with us in a few minutes. All right, we are at that segment of the show that everyone looks forward to every single week, and that is when we bring on a guest to share their journey, their story, and what success looks like to them where they are right now. And today, we have none other than the owner and the founder of Blues Crooked Tooth, Renee Velasquez. Renee, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the Success Journey Show.
No, thank you guys for having me on. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity for me, for the company, for my family, Super cool.
Absolutely, man. We are honored to have you. Why don't you start off by sharing with all of our listeners and travelers around the world just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Renee Velasquez, born and raised in Chicago, Southside Chicago. And then I think it's just being part of a product of your environment is a huge thing, right? So my father, I think, recognized that at a very early age, started getting involved with different types of guys that we shouldn't be, and I think that really saved us. From that, I always wanted to be in some sort of service or something. What ended up happening is I went to high school in a different city, and I was dating this girl at that time that she was in the ROTC, and it was our sophomore year. And she said something along the lines, was like, well, you'll never be able to do this. You're undisciplined. And then I signed up for JROTC the next time. And I flew through the ranks, joined the rifle team, started shooting competitively since I was 14. And I was like, all right, we're going somewhere. We're doing something. And then from there, I was in the Army ROTC and the Navy ROTC and ended up joining the Marine Corps.
Oh, wow.
I not have it any other way. Figured our uniform is the best uniform so far, so let's roll. And then I joined the Marine Corps back in 2006, straight out of high school. I just wanted to go as soon as I could. And I just knew that a lot of my friends have been in trouble, been shot, been chased, been all that stuff. And it's not something that I wanted my father's dreams, his American dream, to go to waste, which he immigrated when he was super young. Him and his uncles came in with a few dollars in his pocket, no English, no anything at all. And he drilled in my head constantly the struggles that he went through. And he never hid them from me or my sisters or siblings. He would talk to me about how difficult it is to make a dollar. So that never left my mentality. He owned a construction, or owns construction and flooring company. And didn't matter what time, we were working. If you weren't in
Yeah.
school, you were working. If you were on summer vacation, he just got another employee, so it just worked like that. So by the time I got to the Marine Corps, I mean, the work ethic was there.
Yeah.
The drill instructor's in your face, and you're like, dude, okay, that sucks. But my dad used to yell at me in front of my own family, we're fine. And so got through boot camp, got through that stuff, did a few deployments, got to go to MSG, super cool duty.
Yeah.
I was a Marine security guard. We guarded embassies around the world and I did that for the 3-year tour. And then just from there progressed, took that MSG background, Win at resorts. I live in Vegas now. Win Resorts, the owner, Mr. Win, at that time was looking for MSGs to guard the resort. So we just treated that as an enormous embassy, and we went from there. And the team that I got hooked up with was like 40, 50 something guys, all MSGs, all dudes with the same background. So we just clicked. So I left from the platoon sergeant area, coming straight over here, and we just clicked back all over again. And from there, we just kind of kept going. So from all that background, absolutely nothing to do with barbecue sauce, which is my last thing, is that like Hispanics, we love to cook, right?
Yeah.
That's our thing. We gather people, we bring people into our homes, and we cook all day, all night. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if we just ate at somebody's house, you're going to come eat at mine,
Yeah.
And from there, it's just kind of continued on into smoking ribs, brisket, figuring out how to make my own barbecue sauce,
Yeah. Oh, man, I love it. You said brisket. See, I grew up I thought grew up a vegetarian until I got older and someone told me I was a pescatarian. So I was like, whatever. But so I never, had, brisket before until maybe 3 years ago. I tried it. I was like, oh, shoot, this right here this is good.
Right.
This is good, man. I don't really eat it much, but when you just said it, man, and I know you said your barbecue sauce on that, man, that right there, it's a good combination. So, man, talk to us about, going through these different transitions that you would have never thought you'd be building, an empire right now of just, providing barbecue sauce, your barbecue sauce for that matter. Where do the ingredients come from? Like, where are the, I mean, don't tell us what's in the ingredients. Don't give us your intellectual property. But how did you come up with it? Yeah, exactly. like, what made you did you playing in the kitchen? Like, was it something that people said, oh man, that's it right there, man. What did you put on this?
No, actually. So, again, I got into the whole smoking stuff, right? I figured, everybody hits that life stage, right? Where it gets into the cars and then eventually you're just smoking meat outside and that's your thing. So I got there and I remember got these juicy baby back ribs. I marinated them for about 3 hours and then I smoked them for 5 hours, nice and easy, right? And they were super tender, nailed it. So proud of myself. Well, at that time, I just grabbed barbecue sauce off of the shelf.
Yeah.
And after 8 hours of work and X amount of money, and the barbecue sauce was just trash.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It ruined everything. It ruined my 8 hours. It ruined my money. It ruined everything. The excitement was gone. So I think it's kind of like the Marine Corps thing, right? We'll figure it out. I was like, it can't be that hard to make barbecue sauce. And it is that hard. And so I Googled it, I YouTubed it, and I was like, okay, cool. I followed some of these steps. So I was like, all right, I'll just make this. The next time I made it, like 2-3 weeks from there, I wanted to make barbecue sauce again, and I completely forgot what I did. So I was like, all right, this time I'm going to make it and then go through the steps, write everything down, and then this is how that happened. So Sweet Heat, one of my sauces that I have, is that ingredients, that recipe. Right here, sweetie, is this one. There you
Ah,
go.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the OG, that's the original one. And I had people come over and they're like, dude, where'd you get the sauce? I was like, well, I made it. And they're like, no, no, where did you like? I was like, what do you mean you made it? I was like, well, I got in my kitchen, I put an apron on, and I got to work. That's what I mean. I made it. And
Yeah.
then more and more people. So eventually I went on Amazon and I bought 200 of those 2-ounce cups. You know, the ones that you get like little
Yeah,
sauces.
yeah.
I filled them all up and I was like sticking these things in people's faces, like, hey man, let me know what you think. And all over work, all over family, friends, anybody that can get it to hold to. And it's like the good, the bad, what do you think? You know? And I think that this entire journey taught me so much about not just being an entrepreneur, but realizing a lot of things that I had to choke down on my own, ego that I had to choke down my own, everything, because people are giving you feedback, whether you want to hear it or not. And it kind of hurts you, I'm not going to lie. So I learned to take that and be constructive with it instead of taking it personal. And that's huge for me. You know, that's huge for any Marine, I think, to be able to choke it down and really go from there.
Yeah.
You said something key with that, Renee. Before you go, Marlon. Customer discovery. You know, you went through the whole process and developed this barbecue sauce that, you know, to you, that was it, you know, to the point where people were giving you feedback saying, you know, who made this? What is this? And you say, you know what, I'm going to package it up and I'm going to take it and give it to people for them to try. Right.
Right.
And at that point, you were being vulnerable enough to say, I want, even though I want to be affirmed for what I've done, I also want to receive constructive criticism for what I've done so that I can tweak, improve, or whatever you did with that criticism that you got, right? And you know, a lot of people sometimes aren't willing to be that vulnerable with their stuff. They think, hey, my stuff is the stuff. If people don't like it, then they're missing it. Like they don't know what's good for them. You know, this is it, right? I'm not tweaking anything. This is it. You better like it. I'm gonna get people that like it and people that don't like it. So if you don't like it, that's good. You know, so you know, what was it in you to say, hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna allow myself to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, you know what? You know, if I got to make some tweaks, I'm gonna make some tweaks. You know, if I gotta package it in a different way for some people, then how do I package it in a different way for some people? So talk to that a little bit, because I think some of our travelers, you know, need to hear how you have to be able to be flexible and adjust to the feedback that you're getting, positive or negative.
Yeah, I think it goes back to working with my father, right? Nothing was ever good enough. I could have cut that perfect angle, not good enough. Do it again, right? And it was just one of those things where he never let me soak it in. So he will never let me get too full of myself. And as soon as he will see that I was getting up there, he would just go ahead and trip me and go right back down. Come to the Marine Corps, same thing, right? You have to learn how to take criticism and you have to learn to look around, make sure everything's okay, then to continue. But the biggest part to this would be asking and really receiving. You know, there's a lot of people that want to know, but they don't actually want to get it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it hurts your feelings. I'm not gonna
Yes,
lie.
it does.
And I was like, damn, I thought we were friends. So a lot of it came through where, you know, I like this. I like it smokier. I wouldn't want this and I wouldn't want that. And at that time, I didn't even think about creating my own line. I was working with a peanut butter company, North Shore Goodies. We've known them forever. We went to high school with one of their kids. So we go way back. And they're like super successful. So I was talking to the ladies, like, maybe this is something that, you know, you can carry. And she's like, yeah, I would love to. Do you want to sell the recipe? I was like, well, I don't really know any of this stuff. You know, so I think what it came down to is her and my sister talking to me, and they're like, dude, I think you have something great. You should really pursue this. I think you're going to be great at it. And they just pushed me, pushed me and encouraged me. And then that's where it came down to. But accepting the criticism from everyone, it's almost too dangerous because you don't want to hear it because you're going to take that to sleep, but it's necessary. It's kind of one of the self-inflicted pains that you have to take.
Dangerous
Yeah,
but
yeah,
necessary.
yeah. Love it.
That's the title
I'll
of this
tell
one.
you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little thing about So we know Sasha, and I guess you met Sasha.
Yes, shout out to Sasha for hooking us up.
Yeah. Shout out to Sasha. This is the second interview that Sasha has hooked. He hooked us up with Tito Ortiz, and he hooked us up with you. So Sasha just says to me, and he's in Germany, right? So Sasha just says to me, "Yo, you like barbecue, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love barbecue." And he's like, "All right, cool." So then something comes to my door, and I'm like, as you can imagine, I'm like, Blue cooking. What the heck? Sasha. So I called her. I was like, Sasha, this from Texas or something? What? No, not Texas. From Germany. He's done a German sauce. He's like, no, this guy. He said, just try it. I go, okay, man. And Rick, I have to apologize to you. I've had this stuff in my house, and I never ever let you have it.
You never, and I was just there a few weeks ago, man. But all the food that we had, you didn't even pull it out. You was being selfish, man. That's what it was.
And my kids saw it, and they're like this. What's that? I was like, hot sauce. Because I put it on I was like, oh snap. So I went to the other one. Let me tell you, I've been I got some more, man. I'm telling you, the thing, it's good. I'm not even lying to you because on here it's good.
Thank you.
Right? But I want you to also talk to people because products, people see something like this now and they see, oh, it's a glass bottle, a label, and some barbecue sauce. Okay, I'll do the same thing and get it out.
In 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Well, it didn't take 2 weeks. It took a whole lot more. So the whole company thing was brought up on my dog's birthday, right? Like my sister loves to bake him a cake every year. Like bakes him a cake, but then it's a human cake, so he doesn't get it. He just gets to take the picture. So as you can see, the blue nose, right?
Yeah.
And I got this guy right after, almost kind of like right after I came out of the Marine Corps, left it, right? Super heartbroken. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be for me to depart, right? People ask me, what was the hardest thing in the Marine? Leaving. Like that to me broke my heart, right? I was in 29 Palms, my last duty station.
Oh, wow.
And I fell in love with it, right? The Marines were great. The platoon was great. Everything was great. And I remember leaving 29 Palms, is like, this is it, man. Like, I am no longer Sergeant Velazquez. I'm just
leaving Yucco Valley.
That's it, man. Like, dang. So what ended up happening was we're doing the cake, and my sister was like, so have you thought about this? Started pushing me, and I was like, I don't know. I don't even have a name for it. And I looked down at my dog, and he's just sitting there looking at me, and his tooth is always sticking out, right? So from the adoption place that I got it from, they said that he might have been hurt before by previous owners or something, but his jaw just isn't completely aligned or something, right? But he's the happiest dog ever, eats well, does all this stuff. So in that time, from the separation of the Marine Corps, I was married at that time, had my daughter here, met my ex-wife in Russia, and brought her over here, did all this stuff like most MSG.
Russia. Oh, so that was on MSG.
That was on MSG, yes.
Okay.
And it didn't work out, right? So I left the Marine Corps because I was constantly deploying or in the field or something, right? So I was never home. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a full-time dad. And left it, got this amazing opportunity in Vegas, and then we ended up splitting up anyways. We ended up leaving. And now I have this entire world that I started to build, and I'm by myself. I can hear the echo like in my home, right? Brand new house, had it built for us and everything is just gone, right? So one day, couldn't sleep, couldn't do anything, went to go get some t-shirts because I ruined my shirts. I was working on the gun. That's what I was doing at 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. And I go to TJ Maxx, and then next door there's a PetSmart, I think it is, and there's all these dogs with bandanas on. And I was like, well, I don't know what they're doing. Like, let me go check it out. Next thing you know, I have a dog in my car and no shirt, and that's not the plan. Right? I was like, so, all right, well, it's this puppy in my car, and it's just me. And I was like, all right, dude, well, it's me and you, man, I guess. And that was it. So that's where I got the name from. Blue's Crooked Tooth is my dog, right? He just basically allowed me to tread water safer during those times, because I was drowning. And then from there, my girlfriend and I, we went up and down aisles of liquor stores, of anything that we could think of. And it's like, we kind of went up and down the aisle. It's like, what catches your eye? What label made you look twice? Why did it make you look twice? Why is it that that's sticking out and that isn't? So we just went in there taking pictures and all that stuff. So I'm in my 30s now, right? Love to cook, love to do all this stuff. I take pride in my name and the cooking and everything. If it's trash, I'm gonna toss it out before I give it to you. Like, I'm not gonna give it to anybody, you know?
Correct.
So what ended up happening was we did that kind of a quick research, and we figured out that almost all of the labels that really attracted us were minimal, minimal but important. So what I wanted to do was have a label that was classy, that felt good. So I used wine paper on my labels. It's not the wine plastic.
Real good.
And when you hold a bottle of wine, it doesn't matter if it's $10. Like, you can feel the heft, you can feel the paper, you can feel that it's, even though it's $10, people put effort into it. And that's where this label and this bottle came from. And then I just knew that I had to make it memorable. Like, I need you to be able to see my logo one time and that's it, So I think human nature, we just shop like that and we eat with our eyes. So if I can get you sucked into my label without even thinking of it, I was like, oh, there goes that dog, and just grab one. That's what I need, Most of all, it's for mature, like, cooks, foodies is the name that I like to use.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're at, and that's what I love to do. So I didn't know how much effort it took. I just knew that, all right, well, this is gonna suck. I didn't know how bad it was gonna suck. It sucked about 6 months worth of suck, My account is bleeding. There's all this money leaving and 0 cents coming back. In about a month, 4 or 5, I was like, what in the hell? And I was like, dude, what are we doing, man? Like, I could have just lived a comfortable life, all this stuff. But no, here we go, sticking our feet back in the fire. And then month 6 and 7 came around and made my first sale to my buddy. Nonetheless, it was still my money coming in. And then it just started rolling. People like online, social media is a beautiful thing. I mean, look at us. We're talking on Zoom and we're having this meeting.
Yeah.
So technology used on the correct way, it's a beautiful thing.
Correct. You said it correct way. I love it.
Yeah, and little by little, social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whoever I can reach out to, I try to, And then we have beautiful friends like Sasha that just hold to us, and that's a dude that I would never get rid of.
Never get rid of Sasha, bro.
I think once you're his friend, I don't think you can
friend for life. Yeah.
And he's a loyal dude, man. I met Sasha in Kuwait. I don't know where you met him.
Same.
Kuwait, right? And he just had the personality. I walked into the room, he was like, Gunny. And then from there, I met every day. And I was like, yo, me and that dude, that'll be the highlight of my deployment. I go to see Sasha, we go get something to eat, we sit down and we talk. And he has stories for days. So Sasha has this, I like to call it like an addicting personality, right? You don't get tired of this dude. You look forward to looking for this dude. Hey man, let's go have a smoke. All right, dude. And the next thing you know, like, bro, we gotta go, man. We were supposed to do all these licenses, and I'm like, we haven't done anything, And he's like, yeah, we'll get to it. And I was like, all right, dude. Well, I guess So his background story is crazy, right? Crazy. Like how he did, and so the reason why he's so popular with everybody and go with Army, Marines, and all that stuff, it's his personality. He's such a good dude. Yeah, man. He is. That's my brother from another mother, like we call each other. And he's just a beautiful soul. Like, it's a beautiful person. That's the kind of people you need in your life, just for real, hold you down.
Yeah, correct. No, correct. Love it. So, man, I heard you say a couple of things, man. I also want to pull out of you. I love the whole product development pathway, and just getting stuff out on the market. You said, hey, my accounts were bleeding, time was ticking, and you had no idea what the timeline is going to look like. And one person has told me in the past, it said, when you think about starting a business, it's going to be twice the amount of money, twice the amount of time. Whatever you thought it was, double it, right? Was there ever a point where, in month 5 and 15 days, 5 and 20 days, where you were like, man, this thing gonna work? Maybe I'll just have barbecue sauce for myself.
Yeah. And yes, a lot.
Yeah.
I have a very good I've surrounded myself with great people. That's number one, right? The circle that I have is amazing. First of all, most of my circles are like 90% still Marines. So you like it or not, these dudes are going to call you out. And,
Right.
right.
That's
So that's what you need, right? You need objective advice versus yes man. You don't need yes men in your life. They're no good. But yeah, my accounts were bleeding. I had a refied my house a while back, and I pulled some money out, and the money was just sitting there. And my sister and I went through the accounts, and I was like, all right, 6,000 to 8,000, we should get up and going. Well, it wasn't that. It was exactly what you said. It was double the time and double the money. I'm sitting at like 12, 13, and 14,000, and I'm like, okay, we're getting danger close. Like there's no tourniquet to stop this bleeding.
Yeah.
I was like, either the money comes back or it's just gone forever. I was like, and succeeding is the only option I gave myself. So here we are. But I think at the end, it's just, you have to just pull yourself through, going back into the military. You just have to do it. You got to carry your own weight so that the other dude can carry his. And again, thank you to like my buddies that started supporting, giving me cash or buying online or stuff like that. Then I kind of like started boosting myself, and slowly the wheel and the train started going. And I'm still waiting for the downhill. There's still a lot of uphills, but we're rolling nonetheless.
Yeah. I see you've been in I see on your social media that you got a couple of spots that you got your product in. Could you tell us about how did those connections happen, and where are they?
Yeah, so one of my sisters lives in San Antonio, and they open up, and believe it or not, in San Antonio, Texas, they don't have great Mexican food like you would think. They do not.
Oh, wow. So you know what happened when you've been in Cali? I don't think nowhere, for me, I'm not disrespecting no other place, but California, I can't eat any Mexican food don't taste right once you've been to Cali.
So for us, it's Chicago. Chicago is high quality tacos. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. And it's not because I'm from there, it's just everybody says it. Yes. I don't know what it is. And I don't want to find out either. It's just great, right? So family goes out there and they're like, yo, these tacos have yellow cheese, man. And that's not cut in it. So they're like, yellow cheese, we're out. And they're like, well, let's just start our own, right? So it was my brother-in-law.
Wait a minute, tacos are not supposed to have yellow cheese?
No, sir. Or sour cream, that's a no-go.
Oh, really? No sour cream either?
No, sir.
Man.
When you go to California, bro.
Taco,
anyway,
man.
It should be your 2 tortillas, right? Your meat of choice, whatever it is, cilantro, onion, maybe some lime if you like it, and then your red or hot sauce. That's it. Or green sauce.
Man?
That's it.
They've been fooling us all this time.
You got to eat that American taco.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I was eating taco, man.
Yeah, so my brother-in-law's name is Omar, and his good friend, they ended up marrying one of his cousins. His name is Robert. Robert is as white as you can get him, right? Have you ever seen the Blood In, Blood Out, where you got the white dude that hung out with Mexicans?
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
So he ended up marrying his cousin, and they said, like, dude, these are trash, man. Let's do something about it. And again, product development, they ended up getting their own taco business.
Wow.
So they do, they have a taco truck that's getting built right now, but they cater right now. And it's called Vato Locos Tacos. And Robert came out.
Holmes.
Right. So where they get their meat at is called Chick's Meat Market. It's in San Antonio. And their guy is constantly getting them high-end meats, high-end everything. And that's where they came from. And then he's like, hey man, my brother-in-law sells some barbecue sauce, which would be interesting. And the owner, he's like, yeah, let me taste some of the stuff. Maybe we can put them on some of our shelves. He tasted it, and I get a email saying, hey man, you might want to hit this guy up. He's interested. So I hit him up and I said, hey, how can I help you? Is there any way that I can do? So he's like, yeah, I'm interested. I got some other sauces that don't sell. They've just been sitting on the shelf. And I was like, well, I can fix that problem, right? Not knowing anything of anything. The arrogance was like, well, I'll fix it. I got it. So his name is Javier. He hits me up. We make a deal. I give him a wholesale price for all this stuff, right? And I tell him, like, look, man, if you decide to place your order, this is like a Wednesday. I was like, if you place an order, I will personally fly out to San Antonio and hand deliver the sauces.
Oh,
Which
wow.
ended up ordering like 36. But I was like, my father taught me how to look a man in the eyes and shake his hand and make a deal. And I was like, I would fly out there, and he's like, well, that's too much. And I was like, yes or no? I was like, we're there. So I sent him the invoice. He sends it right back. And Friday morning, I'm on a plane, right, with 36 bottles of Blue's Crooked Tooth in a Pelican case that I borrowed from my buddy. That I haven't given back. I gotta give it back. So I fly out there, and I'm there Friday morning. Said, hey man, I told you that I'm a man of my word. I'm here. Here are the sauces. He's like, I cleared out the shelf. And I just talked to him this morning. He said, hey man, the sauces are selling great. He's like, wait next week. I'm going to go ahead and order some more sauces from me. And I was like, cool. And that was the first time that I've ever had any interaction on my own behalf. I had to put bottles on the shelf. I didn't know. I just knew that it had to happen. Yeah. And thankfully, like, I have family out there that's helped us all. And it's crazy because, again, I have experience from MSG throwing those parties, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else is just confidence and figuring it out as we go, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you straight up. My favorite, as you can see, that bottle is going down. Is that peanut? that peanut, boy. That joint is.
What flavor is that? You said what flavor is that, Harlan?
This one, so it has Pina Q.
Okay.
Right.
So, but what caught my eye, just like you said, was that the pineapple. I love pineapple.
Oh, there you go, perfect.
So when I whoop, and I was like, oh snap, this is it right here. And this one is the one that's on everything.
So with that one, I was very concerned. I would walk around the resort, the casino, right? And I would ask people, hey, if I was to offer you piña, what am I offering you? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, that's not gonna work, man. I don't have money to educate people on this, right? And I was like, better yet, and I'll show them a picture. If I had piña with the little pineapple emoji looking thing, what is it? Like, oh, it's pineapple.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay. So we started developing it from there, right? Piña Q came up. And we actually put real pineapple in those. We marinated with everything. So as you're pouring, you will get chunks of pineapple into your thing.
Yes, sir.
So little known fact, I don't like pineapple, right? And I taste test everything. And it was one of those things where it's just like, just kind of tasting it. And I was like, okay, well, if I can make myself like it, then I can make others love it. You know what I mean? So,
listen,
hey,
guys,
so that product, Rick, that product placement and how you did that, it worked, because when I looked at the bottle, it was the pineapple that caught me.
Right.
So
it was the pineapple.
So man, Traveler, again, I got to stop, man, because Renee is saying so much, some powerful stuff, nuggets in this in terms of how he's developed this thing, and he could put a whole workshop together in terms of this whole development, right? So let me pull it out a little bit for you, right, Traveler, so you can hear it directly. He went out and asked the people in the casinos, wherever he went, and said, hey, what if I said this to you, what would you think of? Right. Now think of this, right? He could have been there just not worried about, all right, I'm going to surveying people. I'm just going to play. I'm just going to be here enjoying myself. But he said, no, I'm going to go intentionally, and I'm going to ask X amount of people, whatever it was, what they thought of this idea, right? And then from that was able to derive, okay, this is what will work. Now, listen, guys, this is why this is so important. So, because a lot of people, and I work with a lot of teams that do this, right? We encourage people to go out and talk to people one on one, right? Get on the phone, get on a Zoom, whatever it is, get into their office face to face and have a conversation with them. Get rid of these survey monkeys and all these other stuff you're sending online, very indirect. And, oh, yes, answer yes or no. Would you like this? Or what did I not ask you on the survey, and fill it out? Do you like this? What percentage of this is what? Like that right there is not going to get you exactly what you need at the end of the day to be able to sell a product. Will it give you some information? Yeah, it'll give you some information. But the most effective way of getting that information is getting in front of people, not being scared of receiving what they're going to say, and being determined to say, hey, listen, I'm going to ask X amount of people what it is their actual feedback is. What is it that they like? What it is that they don't like? And there, I'm going to be able to develop my product from that point. So as you just saw right there, he said, hey, I don't even like pineapples, but it's not about what he likes, right? Because he has a business. I'm trying to sell something. Right?
It was kind of a cringeworthy thing for me, because I'm telling him as why.
You know, and I saw your face when he held up the bottle. You're like, man, he liked that one. You know,
but it's crazy. It sounds scripted, because when I said, "Oh man, what caught my eye on this bottle was the pineapple," it sound people, we did not plan that. So when you listen back to this and you say, "Let me rewind that," we did not plan that what he intentionally did with that bottle was what caught me. Right? Don't think it was planned, Rick.
Yeah. No, so guys, I just want you to realize, man, this is a process. And if you're willing to go through the steps, and it's not rocket science. He didn't say, hey, I pulled up a spreadsheet and I need to run through all these calculations and iterations of how many people, how tall was the person that I asked, you know, how short. That's not what he did. He just said, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to find out what it is that they like. What is their gain? What are their pain points? What can we add to them so that they see our product as a value add? When they see our product, they'll be willing to not pick up the what is it, the other whatever brands that are out there. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter. We're Blues Crooked too. Yeah, Blues Crooked too, right? If it doesn't have a dog on it, it's not worth you buying it, right? So you know, you just go and say, hey, I want to build this thing, but I'm trying to build this with the customer in mind, not my own personal desires as to what I think is best for the customer. So, man, I really appreciate you sharing that, Renee. Man, so you know, you're at this point now where you're starting to get some sales. I know it feels good to be able to even see your product in Marlon's hand, where he's halfway across all the way across the nation, halfway across the world from you, and it must feel good, man. So how tell us a little bit more on that side of it. You know, things are starting to sell, things are starting to look better. You're on up. You say you're on an up climb. You know, you went through COVID. You know, where are your thoughts at right now, and how are you moving forward? What are some next steps?
Well, I mean, the whole COVID thing is just crazy for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Just to begin with. And then I decided to open a business in the middle of COVID. And then I got COVID. And I mean, I got it good, right? I got put through my paces on that. And I was sick for 4 weeks, and I just couldn't breathe, couldn't do anything. So when I was stuck in my room, in a guest room that I had for those 4 weeks, or 3 weeks really. And when I got out, I was like, dude, I had all these ideas. I'm either really high on this cough medicine or something, and it's coming in, right? The ideas are coming in. I will try to write everything down. But I think one of the cool things that I have is I love my dog so much, because he's helped me out so much just by being who he is. And then seeing his face, because I got stickers, I got all that stuff. And I see his face on windshields out here, like back windshields in Vegas. Don't know who this car or truck is.
Yeah.
But it's super cool to see that. So once it started becoming sales coming in, it didn't fix anything. It actually made things harder, right? Because now I had to deliver a product. So I sell my bottles at $12.99, which is, I understand it might be up there for barbecue sauces or whatnot, but it is a premium product with premium ingredients in a
Mm-hmm.
premium bottle. Everything's premium for that premium customer, right?
Premium
And
taste.
yeah, so it is worth that. And I have been able to sell a lot and been sold out. Thank God that I sold out plenty of times. So when the orders start coming in, we started shipping orders out. And then the first few batches of orders that were shipped out, either USPS or somebody just punted these things and they were cracking the bottles. Customers were getting the bottles broken. That's completely unsafe, right? So I will have to make it right. I would go ahead and eat the cost of the shipping and the bottles and the labels and the ingredients, and I will resend the orders at no cost to the customer, right? To make things right.
Wow.
So then we all sat down again, the team and I was just develop how to ship these things out. We finally figured out, and that's how everybody else got it. It made it to Sasha in Germany just fine. And I was asking, I was like, hey man, any word on these bottles? Like, are they good or like where were we at? So once that money started coming in, it's great. And then one day I remember I just woke up and it was all the way down, unfilled orders. So I still work a regular eight and a half, 9 hour job that I have to go take care of, and then come straight home and I'll still be in uniform and I'll work another 8 to 10 hours at home. So now I'm working 16 hours, 18 hours. And I remember watching a interview with Elon Musk that had it with Joe Rogan, and he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
man,
Where he
if you're
smoked.
not working 18 hours, you're not making it. And they're like, what do you mean? Is like, and he will break it down. And without even me trying to, I found myself working my day job and then working on myself. And at that point, I realized that this is it. Get on the horse and roll or bounce, and I just stuck with it. And here we are today and again.
Man, I love it. I love it. Hey, we could talk to you all night, but I know our listeners. I know Rick is gonna ask you a question that we ask all our guests, but all our listeners wouldn't let, or our travelers wouldn't let us go if I didn't ask you about those guitars in the back.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Play?
Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah.
Do you? Because you notice that Rick has some guitars in the back, even though this is a thing, but Rick is a musician. We think talk to us about those guitars in the back. And
okay,
all that.
So that's another hobby that I have, right? I'm a man of many tricks here. And my father plays. All of my family are musicians, right? I always say I'm the only 81 that didn't make money off of music. They do.
Wow.
So brothers play in like bandas, like those Mexican bands, huge bands. My father used to play in his day and still plays. And my father, just like a work ethic, he would force me to practice like 2 hours a day, right? Started with the drums. I can't play that anymore. I just completely forgot it. And then keyboard, and then guitar and keyboard together, and just all this other stuff. And he will sit there and make sure that I was practicing, right? And then it developed into a norm. We would just go to the basement and we will play. And these guitars are just guitars that I've always wanted, right? That black one is Johnny Cash edition, Martin. I've always been a huge Johnny Cash guy, And then just Martin guitars, Gibson guitars, stuff like that I've always desired to play, that I watch greats play. Is like, you know what? When I'm able to have grown-up money, I'm gonna go ahead and little by little build my collection, and that's what happened.
Love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, and I play in a Tahitian group right now, which is another subject, right? Completely
man.
out
He's
of
like,
whack.
yo, I'm living this 18 hours thing to the fullest.
Yeah, so I played a Tahitian group. I showed up the first practice and I was like, I don't even know what's happening. Like, I don't understand the language. The dances are so different. The music is so different. But music is music, right? There's no language.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with them. And then I watched a show and I was like, dude, like, so my buddy, his name is Julian. He owns the group. We met at work. And he's like, hey, man, can you play guitar? I was like, yeah, I can play guitar. He's like, I can play rhythm. He's like, okay, great. We have this competition. And I was like, sure, it's in Cali. I'll play a few songs for you. He's like, no, dude, it's like 30, 40 minutes set. And I was like, oh, like I have to really learn like these
Yeah, the
songs.
music. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yes. So we go, and then my first show ever apparently was the biggest Tahitian competition. And I didn't even know. I was just kind of going there. And that was it. And then afterwards, I thought I was done, right? He's like, hey man, you haven't showed up to practice. I was like, what practice, man? Like, I thought we were good, you know? He's like, oh, I want you to drum. I was like, dude, I can't drum. Like, so the next thing you know, 2 years I'm drumming. So
Oh my goodness, man.
and these guitars, man, we love to like take them down, put them up in shows, try to, do what we can.
Yeah. Oh, dude, love it.
You can
Man, I
come to the
love it.
house and you can play, feel free, grab them, grab some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jam out.
Yeah. And you live in Vegas, right?
I do live in Vegas.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna have to take you up on that offer one day when everything calms down a little bit.
Oh,
We're gonna
anytime.
out there and do a
Yeah.
face to face. And I see, oh, that's all. That's
Blue.
Crooked Tooth.
That's
It's
the blue
Crooked
right
Tooth.
there. Blue crooked tooth
Coming
right
from,
there.
yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
The famous man.
What's going on?
The
Yeah,
famous
yeah.
one. Nah,
The
love it.
famous one.
He's such a
Love
good dog.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Renee, man, the question that as we're wrapping up here, and just so appreciative of your time and just being a part of your story. You say you birthed your business in COVID, at times when people were shut down, scared, not knowing what's going to come next. You say, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself and I'm going to launch this thing and start it. And we're just so happy to see, how it's developing, how it's growing, and being a part of that journey with you. But one question that we ask all of our guests towards the end is, hey, let's just go back before COVID, before COVID started. And you had 1 minute to talk to yourself, knowing what you know now, what would you have said to Renee back in January 2020?
I would tell myself to get uncomfortable. Right?
Mm.
I think my problem happened that I got comfortable. And I was making 6-figure salary out here, and I was doing this stuff, and I got too comfortable. Comfortability came with laziness, and I just was like, "Well, I made it." Well, that's a horrible mentality to have, right?
Yeah.
And I think COVID reminded me how to be uncomfortable, to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's what I used to tell my parents all the time, right?
Yeah.
Staying comfortable, because then complacency sets in.
Yeah.
So I think I would just tell myself to wake up, get uncomfortable, and get moving again, because I could have done this so long ago, and my mind was just blocked.
Love it. Love it. Get uncomfortable, guys. Get uncomfortable. Travelers, listen, man, we come to the end of another show. Renee, we thank you so much for being on and sharing your journey. If you can, just share with us on your social media platforms or wherever they can order your barbecue sauce, so that we can put that in our notes, and also they can hear it from you live right now.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. If you guys can please visit us at bluescrookedtooth.com. That's where you can go ahead and get your sauces. Right now, we are running a promo, which is 3 bottles for $35. We do have a 4 sauce coming out soon. It is not okay, and I say that because I made it with Carolina Reapers peppers. We want the hottest pepper in the world, so it is definitely supposed to like put you on fire, put you on blast.
I want that.
Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
And we're sitting about 1.9 million Scovilles in that barbecue sauce. So habaneros are nowhere near that, but we're pushing it up there. So please visit us at bluescrookedtooth.com. Stay tuned for the 4th sauce that's coming out. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok under Blues Crooked Tooth and Blues Crooked Tooth barbecue sauce. We just roll out a few things too. So one of the things, if you don't mind, what we do for our barbecue sauce, since my dog is a rescue, part of our story is that we donate 5% back to Pitbull rescues and animal shelters from each bottle sold. So we try to give back, try to get veterans as ourselves and whatnot that needed a companion, so we can donate money to those programs that can put dogs that need help and need a home with veterans that just need help. It's a beautiful program that we are proud to be part of. And also, we just support veterans themselves. And we can put anything up, animals, shelters, or just donate money. We do that as well. So every time that somebody purchases a bottle, that money goes automatically to a shelter or rescue.
Love it, man. Giving back as well. Well, travelers, man, we had a mouthful, no pun intended. Go go and get the barbecue sauce. I'm gonna make my order this week, since Marlon is being stingy on his end and not sharing any of his. But listen, guys, we will be with you next week again at the same time, same place. Check us out on the successjourneyshow.com and all podcast platforms. You can find our podcast there and on YouTube. Check us out. Come see our faces. See why my eyes were bloodshot red for the first part of this, from my boxing classes this afternoon. But listen, we'll love to see you guys again next week. So stay tuned to the Success Journey Show. All right, everyone, have a good one. Peace.
One love.
You've been listening to The Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.